I'll do it, man.
All right.
Make it easy.
Do you have to do it every time?
Yeah,
You do?
Yeah.
This won't work?
I guess not.
Okay. I'll give you a little one of those. Okay, great. This is gonna be fun. All right, guys, first and foremost, I'm Joseph Fiacco. If you miss a name, it's in the logo. You can pull it out anytime. Thank you for being here. This is such a pivotal moment in my life, and I'm really happy to have you all here. Jamie, thank you for everything you've done. Jamie works tirelessly with me every week. She coaches me, and I'm about to explode and change gears to a higher gear. So thank you, Jamie. Okay, so I'm going to go over 4 things. Jamie, you could just kind of cue them up. Who I am, how I serve, this is what I do, where I'm going or my vision, and how you can help me. This is where I'd love you to put your questions together for this part right here. Okay, who I am. Jamie, you could just load it up.
Okay.
Thank you. So again, my name is Joseph Fiacco, and I coach young men. I forge young men, right, who are not in confidence, who are struggling with frustration, to become bold leaders. I do that through 2 means: to find their purpose and calling, and to strengthen their relationships. Because I found that if men are not building in their natural capacity, they're not serving and protecting, they will inherently destroy. I found this in my own experience. I find this with men, all my clients. They go into isolation and destruction. What do they isolate from? Relationships. What do they destroy? Relationships. And their purpose and calling. Okay, so I'm a God-fearing man. This is very important to understand my client as well, because a lot of my story, in addition to what Jamie has said, is important to see who my target market is. I'll tell you a little bit about my story. In addition to what Jamie shared, I was raised Catholic. I did not have a good experience being raised Catholic. I didn't understand Christian values. So what I did is I threw the baby Jesus out with bathwater, left him for 23 years, and my life went down very, very hard. I didn't realize that the missing key would be to come back to faith. This is the same thing that my clients see, is that they're built for faith, but they're not expressing it. So what happened was, in that place where I'm not living a spiritual life with faith, I'm failing, I'm noticing a lot of downs. What this means for you and the people you know is that you can have high confidence that I know what I'm doing with this coaching program. These are men who are 40 years old, failing marriages. They need a lot of help. They don't know where it went off the rails, and typically it's a faith problem for them, for this market. All right, I'm a bold leader, coach, mentor, teacher. Jamie, there's a little bit more on here. Entrepreneur, small business owner since 2008, author and speaker. And I am truly a concerned collector of lost men, readily serving them. I'm really concerned about what I'm seeing with young men as young as teens, my nephews included. There's a lot of stuff going on that's not okay. Men are not being taught how to build and serve. This is a problem. There's a lot of men who are destroying. We even have wording in our culture, toxic masculinity. Yeah, not if I have something to do about it. That can't continue. Now, how I serve. Again, I take people from pain to purpose. I do that through intensive coaching. So I meet with people weekly through Zoom, in person. I have some local people that I meet here. Ongoing Voxer support. This might be a Q&A thing. This is a very powerful tool. It's a walkie-talkie app. One more, Jamie. And regular reflective homework. Often this is written. A lot of adults are no longer writing. So as an author, I find that I was so afraid to write, and when I get young men writing again, it reboots something in them. Okay. Where I'm going. This is my vision. I put both personally and professionally because as I coach, we have to have both. We can't just do one or the other. Personally, in the next 3 months, I'd like to go, I'm a surfer, avid surfer. I'm good. I want to become great. It's really important to me. And it actually mirrors a lot of the things I do. So with all the work I've done in the business in the last year, becoming more of a viable business, I'd like to go to, say, Hawaii, surf for 6 weeks out this winter. At the same time, I'd like to this is really big. I'd really like to start courting who I'm going to marry. I would say a good long-term goal, maybe 3 to 5 years, 2 to 5 years would be more like becoming a pastor. Okay. Professionally, it's a little bit more broken down. I started a lot of things. I have a lot of irons in the fire: website, coaching cert. I have a book to finish, coaching programs, 3 to 6 months. So after the immediate, a little bit out in the immediate future, I'd like to build from 1 to 1, how I serve now, to 1 to many. 6 to 12 months, I'd like to add a marriage preparation piece to this business. I want to go lateral because I know the marriage reclamation part pretty well. I'd like to add preparation for a younger crowd. Right now, this year is about 40 to 45-year-old men struggling, marriages falling apart, they lost their faith. Some of these marriages are completely over. Some are heading that way. This year would be more like 20 to 25-year-olds in preparation for marriage, using what I've learned from here to feed into here. Okay, this is the ask. How can you help? Please pray. Seriously, if you know the power of prayer, please pray for this, for me. And can you go back?
Yes.
All right, cool. Please connect with me. This is probably the most important ask, is to get to know me. In 6 minutes, I can't share much. I give you the foundation. That's about it. The 1-to-1 is you probably already have a sense of a little bit of what I do, and maybe you picked up some cues of some of the pain that you see in your life, cousins, nephews, maybe a son. If you know that person, send them my way. I'll do the heavy lifting. That's what this whole thing is about here. So that 1-to-1 connection referral. If you have experience going 1-to-many, connect me. Let me know how I can do that better. This is good for Q&A. There's a lot here: group coaching, speaking engagements, etc. All right, this is long and big. Basically, what this is saying is, if you have a hint, send someone my way. Don't try to sieve them. I'll do that heavy work here. But if you go, well, she's 25, she's not a guy, she's 25, you might miss the point that it might be her boyfriend that I'm meant to work with. So if you get a little intuition, just send them my way. I'll see if they're a good fit. The other big thing is the CIE grant. I'm working with Jamie on this. I'm applying for the 10 in March and then the 50 after. This is how I think I really go global. I want to offer a very cheap app with all my technological savvy from engineering. I'd like to offer it cheap, spread it out to the world. It would be this is where I should probably interview you and have you speak to it. She does such a great job. It's really an organizational tool, like a simple app, goal setting, accountability, tracking what's going on. There could be some cool visual metrics, whether they're met or not. This is in development. I want to thank Jack too, and Jerry, you both heard me out and listened to this. This is intriguing because I think that this is in addition to something like coaching and could serve coaches in their business. But I really think the potential here is off the charts. This is something you might check every day, see if you're on track or not. So I'm going to keep working on that. This also goes into deep customer discovery. All right, with that, Jamie, again, I thank you for being here. We're going to go into Q&A.
Awesome.
All right. I want to thank Ian and Rob. They both received a preparation last night and gave me feedback. Ian's hand is up. Thank God.
I have 2 questions for you, Joe. So totally different tracks. The first would be, in terms of what you actually do, what would be the differences between what you can offer someone and what therapy can offer someone, like with a licensed therapist?
Mhm.
And then secondly, more on a totally different side of it, the business model. Like,